Everybody, I want to make sure that we have an introductory video. There was an introductory video and it disappeared. So all I want to do in this video, I will come back and we'll do a little bit of question and answer later. But all I want to do with this video is give you the intro. How did this group come about? Why do I have this group? How did I get involved with neurofeedback? That's what this intro video is for. It's going to be very brief. My dog barking in the background. So this is something that I've always been fascinated by, the brain. I went to school. I always was fascinated by the brain and the mind. When I was a nurse, I worked in the neurology ICU. When I was a nurse practitioner, I worked as a neurology nurse practitioner. Brain. Always been fascinated by the brain. Fast forward, I had what you would call a dysfunctional growing up childhood, a lot of trauma, things like seeing my dad taken away to jail in handcuffs and staying in a shelter when I was a kid, just things like that. But I have a family member who is in law enforcement who has seen a ton of trauma. He let me know one day via a phone call that he was free. Like, I'm free. And when he explained further to me that he was able to achieve this with this modality, I was very intrigued. So then fast forward, I had another friend who told me that they were able to use this modality to lose a significant amount of weight that she wasn't able to lose any other way. At that time, I started looking into, okay, how can I get some neurofeedback? Because I would love to have the results that they're having. I've had the same childhood. I've had some of the same emotional scars, experiences that I would like to no longer have an emotional charge. I'd like them to just be memories. Without that emotional charge that keeps me from moving forward or keeps me stuck and rehashing it. So I looked into it myself. It was very expensive. There were sessions that were going to be upwards of $100 each time. It needed to be with a therapist. It was going to have to be around their schedule. There were all these parameters, and it was something that I was really not really willing to do at that point. I felt like, okay, maybe it's just not that important for me to do right now. So then fast forward again, I saw my friend do a Facebook reel and she's wearing these sensors and she's wearing a neurofeedback device. And I was like, how did you get that? And how are you able to have that? And she told me, this is something that you can actually purchase and have yourself. I had no idea that that was possible. And when she told me that not only can you purchase it outright, you can finance it, and the financing is very reasonable and achievable and accessible. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it, because I didn't really need to try it first for me because of these other people in my life that I trust, that I was very close to, that had these experiences. I just had this gut feeling about it. Turns out that gut feeling was very true. It turned out to be, everything I was hoping for and more. So that's just in a nutshell how I started using neurofeedback. We purchased a device and everyone in our family started using it. I started noticing things right away. I started feeling calmer. I started sleeping better. Our whole family seemed to just have this kind of high feeling where we were just in sync, not getting in each other's way emotionally, not triggering each other. It's really hard to explain. And if there's anyone else in here that's doing neurofeedback, hop on and let me know if you're feeling the same way. But I also started noticing that things that I've had problems with for years, and I'm talking about within the first couple of weeks, years, that have just been things that hold me back, or things that I feel like that's just part of who I am and it's not going to change. They were no longer an issue. So, I was just blown away. I started talking about it a ton. I did a post on it talking about how my daughter was like a different daughter. Not like she's, completely different, but just so much more open. My daughter is an adolescent. She's in middle school. So it's the whole mumbling when I pick her up from school, not really opening up with me. And all of a sudden, she's just talking to me nonstop, telling me all about school, telling me about her dreams, telling me about her ideas for writing a play. And I'm just like, this is awesome. I love this version of you. And it's who she is, though. That's what's so cool. It's who she is. And already at 12, there's layers. There's layers that are laying on top of who she is. And there are these persistent, consistent patterns in her brain that are in the way of allowing that creativity to just flow. So I started noticing this. I'm talking like crazy to everybody about it. People are starting to ask me questions. I'm helping people get a unit. They're having great experiences. People are coming over to my house. Our whole family, I have my in-laws that live over on the other side. They're using it. My husband, who does not sleep, he says he doesn't need to sleep more than 4 hours a night. Never has, right? That's what he says. First time he used it, he's cuddled up in bed. That's not him. He doesn't cuddle up in bed with his blanket and his pillow. He falls asleep on the couch and lets the TV put him to sleep. He's in bed with his blanket and pillow, snoring and sleeping like a baby. Sleeping 8 hours. Never seen it in my life. In our 20 years of marriage. So I'm just like, my mind is like all over the place. So I keep telling people about it. Eventually the company is like, we really like the enthusiasm you're showing and the ability that you have to educate. We would love for you to join us and like to continue to help educate, to continue to help people get started with neurofeedback and, just kind of like this whole thing you got going here. And I was like, this is such a perfect fit. I already do coaching one-on-one. I already try to help people work on this, but it just seems like this is a supercharge. This helps you to just take it to that next level quickly. It's not a miracle. It is, but it's seemingly miraculous in so many ways for me. So anyway, I did a post, but I did another post and people were asking so many questions. And that's why you have this Facebook group. I threw it up quickly. We'll get it more organized and we'll get it like with guides and we'll talk about certain things. We'll talk about like how to get one, what's the cost, what are some, like if you want to know the nitty gritty of certain things. Also, I did one video already with answering questions. And as I see more questions come up, I will answer those. I'll try not to do it in the middle of the night. It's just been a really weird schedule this week, but I'm going to come back tonight and oh my goodness, this whole time I had lipstick on my teeth. I'm going to come back tonight and I'm going to answer more questions from what I've seen today. I really hope that whole video is not like glaring lipstick. I'm going to come back tonight, answer some more questions from what you guys have asked since yesterday, because I want to be able to in real time just keep answering your questions, whatever, if anything's holding you back from like getting started. Like with me, what I keep thinking is, where was this 5 years ago? How did I not know about this? How am I not, I can't look back. I'm just happy that I have it now, but I can't help but think like, if I had only had this, and I think of my mom, and if I had had it for her, but we can't go back. But what that means for me with you guys is like, I want to help you remove any obstacles in your mind that you might have about, thinking about this, because the sooner you get your hands on this and utilize this, the more you're going to see what your brain is capable of and when your brain is flexible and when your brain is resilient, what your life looks like. And quick, this has been a month. It has been a month. Okay, so anyway, this is my intro video, intro to neurofeedback. This is, it is a mirror of your mind. I call it like reading your mind, but it's mirroring your cortical activity back to you, letting you know in real time what your mind is doing, your brain is doing, so that your brain can make its own adjustments. When it does that, some really cool things happen. But this is the intro. I just wanted to let you know why it is that I made this group, how it is that I got so excited about this, and start here. Then you can go diving into question and answers that will be subsequent to this, and also little guides that I'll talk about specific things. Like maybe I'll make a guide on focus and what we've seen what we've seen about focus so far. I'm already saying we. And what about anxious feelings or anxiety? What have we seen with that, or with sleep, or with memory and cognitive issues, and things that like autonomic nervous issues like Lyme and POTS. So we'll kind of cover that stuff. But I wanted to just redo this intro video that disappeared. Okay, this is the intro video. Start here, and then we will be back.